Hey guys, it's Small Town Izzy. Thanks for joining me. I'm starting a new YouTube channel about sports in Fannin County, Georgia. I want to kick it off with something really special. I was lucky enough to score an interview with legendary, two-time state champion basketball coach Johnny Farmer. Hope you enjoy. Coach, thanks so much for doing this interview with me.
You're quite welcome, hon. I'll be glad to help you out anytime. You're a good, hard-working young athlete. Appreciate you thinking about me.
Thank you. Let's get started. You've had a great basketball career. What is your best athletic achievement as a player?
Best athletic achievement?
Yeah, as a player.
When I played, let's see. Well, I played the University, the game before we played Nevada, Las Vegas, we played Centenary. And Robert Parrish played on that team. He played for the Boston Celtics for a number of years when they won lots of championships. I tipped in a basket with about 4 seconds to go, and we beat Centenary, and they were ranked 19th in the nation.
Really?
Then we went out to play Nevada, Las Vegas right there, and their coach was Shark Tarkanian. He's way older. He wore the plaid jacket and chewed on the towel. I had a double-double in there, but we got beat pretty bad by them.
Yeah.
So that's probably my two. And then another one against South Carolina. I hit 9 of 10 shots and 1 free throw and had 21 points.
Wow, that's a lot of points. That's a great athletic achievement. Can you tell me one of your favorite memories about playing college basketball?
Probably getting to travel a lot. Down at the University of South Alabama. I played at Cumberland Junior College for 1 year, and Cliff Ellis took me and another guy with him to play at the University of South Alabama when he got the job. And almost every trip we played, we flew to Atlanta, and even to go back to Florida. But we'd fly up north, out west, places. So we flew a great deal, and I got to travel and see a lot of things that normally that I wouldn't got to in my life.
Got to see places. Yeah. When you were done playing, why did you choose to coach high school basketball instead of college basketball?
Well, when I went overseas and played for a year, and one of my jobs to get paid for was to coach 11 and 12-year-old boys basketball team. So I started coaching them, and then halfway through the season, our head coach got sick, so I was a player coach on the team, the pro team that I played over there for. So I learned to coach, came back, and started coaching. I got a job at Epworth Elementary School, and my wife got one at West Fannin, which was a junior high then. And I worked for Epworth for about 3 years and wanted to get to coaching, and the boys' job wasn't open, and the girls' was, so I said I'll start head coaching that. And went on from there.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter if it's boys or girls, right?
Well, I mean.
Were you aiming for boys or girls?
Well, there's probably more recognition in coaching boys.
Yeah.
But I knew I could win with these girls, and I took them and worked them really hard. I mean, very hard. And a few years after that, first probably 6 years. We never did get in the region playoffs. We'd get there and then end up losing. But after we started thinking it was just another game, besides putting the word tournament or region championship against it, we started playing. And then through the 90s, I mean from 90 all the way to 99, we were, probably to 2004, we were very competitive.
Good team.
So going to the state tournament, probably out of those 12 or 13 years, we only missed the state tournament, I think, 2 years.
Wow.
Out of that, so we had a big run through those 10 to 13 years there.
Must have been one good team.
There's several good teams. I mean, they graduated. Your aunt played for me, Leslie, and she's in the Fannin County Hall of Fame. I've had several inducted good kids that had college careers and stuff and played. So it's very rewarding when they come back and see you.
Yeah. So you took over the Lady Rebels coaching job in 1981, and then 12 years later won your first state championship. What was your biggest obstacle to winning that first state championship?
Well, we had to beat Gainesville twice. Had to beat them in the state championship. No, we played them. 1, 1, 2, 3. We played them, I think, 5 times, and we
Gosh.
beat them 4 out of 5 times.
Oh, man.
We beat them twice in the regular season,
Yeah.
once in the no, we just played them 4 times. So we beat them 3 out of 4 times. Had to face them in the finals, and so that's probably one of the. If we had one biggest obstacle is beating them because they were in our same region.
And they were probably one of the best teams. Probably.
They had a girl that went on by the name of Mahogany Hudson to play in University of Florida. So it was a good, real nice to bring home to the community
Yeah.
the first state championship in the high school.
Yeah. It's good to win.
I love winning.
When you won your second state championship in 1999, how did it feel different than the first?
Well, there's more pressure, I think, to win it. We'd only lost 1 game that year.
Oh my gosh.
And they had won. The kids that had played 2 years before were state runners-up. They were ranked number 1 in the state in '98, and we got upset in the first or second round of the state tournament. Then in '99, it was just like, they were state runners-up, but the only accolade that they didn't have was a state championship. So we had a harder time getting out of the region than we did winning. We won by an average of, in all 5 games, by an average of 18 points in the state tournament. So we took care of business pretty good.
Yeah.
Great group of kids. Had 5 seniors, and very, very excellent athletes, and academic-wise too, they were good.
Yeah. Could you compare the 2 state championship teams for me? How are they alike? How are they different?
Pretty hard question there. Both teams were very fundamentally sound. We didn't have just one superstar or nothing. I had very good shooters on the outside and a good power game inside in '99. In '93, I had a good power game inside and enough to take care of business on the outside. So they're quite similar in the ways. I think my first state championship was 27-4. And the other one was 29-1.
Yeah, must have been really good teams to win the state championship.
Yeah, well, that's something that I have never planned for. Some teams say, I got a state championship team here. I was always taking one game at a time.
Yeah.
And
Focus on the next game.
Get scout reporting on them and trying to figure out ways to beat them. But the time I thought I might have had a state championship team was in '96. We was 28-0. Went down to the Final Four, and we kind of didn't show up that game, and we ended up with our first loss. But that helped us win the state championship in '99 because we had to play a team that put us out in '96. So 3 years later, most of the girls that were freshmen were still on the team. They remembered that, and we took care of them pretty good.
Yeah, must have. If you can go back in time and re-coach any basketball game that you lost, which one would it be and why?
Well, I'm thinking towards, it'd either be in '97 when we were state runners-up. We were up 1 point at halftime, and we come back out and had a TV, for the length of the TV. We had to stay in the locker room more, and then we come out and I think got beat by a dozen.
Oh my gosh.
I just think I could have went into not a stall offense, but spread them out and made them come to attack us, and we could have took them down in the hole. And then in 204, when it was in or 203 is when we were state runners up. We didn't have a chance much in that. We had to play Tasha Humphreys in Gainesville. They were in our region again, and she went on to the University of Georgia. She was SEC Player of the Year as a freshman. So, we had to deal with her for 4 years. So that was her senior year, and we were always region runner-up, and they were region champs. But we still went to the state as a number 2 seed. So, but one of those games against, I can't remember who we were playing. We got up 5 points, and the team was very quick. We got up 10, they started pressing us, and we sort of fell apart. And if I could have went back and adjusted something, we just panicked a little bit, the kids did, and if we could have controlled the ball a little bit better, we'd have been in the state finals another time. But,
hard to break the press.
But you don't you don't get many second chances.
Nope. Who's the toughest high school basketball player you ever had to coach against?
Well, we just got through talking about Tasha Humphrey. She's 6'4". Could play guard, play post, could play wing. She took care of business. And then there's a girl from Hayesville. She went on and played at Clemson.
Oh, wow.
Can't really remember her name, but she's about 6'2", 6'3". And that was your Aunt Leslie played against her, and we had them beat in our gym, and then we didn't get a timeout call, and they had a jump ball, and it was their possession. I think we lose by 1.
Oh, man.
But I used to know her name, but can't remember that. But those two kids right there, very dominant.
Yeah. How'd you stop them?
Well, I double teamed Tasha sometimes, but she was so smart that she would see the other person.
Yes.
We held her to 10 points, but she had like 15, 20 assists, so that's not stopping her. So in one game we got beaten overtime. We tied it up, went to overtime. We got beat by 9. She has all 9 points. So I don't say I really stopped her. We just sometimes tried to contain her.
Yeah.
She loved the game, and mother was an excellent player, and so she worked at it hard. She used to like to imitate Akeem Olajuwon that played for the Houston Rockets, and he had a lot of good post moves, and she would look on the video what they was, because I stayed in touch. One of my players, Stephanie Searcy, played against her, and they'd stay on Facebook and everything together, so and stayed in touch with each other, and she had asked her, who was her favorite player, and that was one of them she imitated. So, and a guard, Mahogany Hudson at Gainesville, she was very hard to contain, and went on to University of Florida and played and had a great college career.
Yeah. Who's the toughest coach you ever had to face?
One that's had a lot of success now is Gene Durden. He's at Buford. He's got 5 or 6 state championships or more. I don't know exactly how many, but he was he's still coaching. He's still active. And then Roy Coward at Pickens County was a good one to go against. That's the ones I saw the most as far as Roy Cowart was in our region. Yeah. And then Herb Horton from Gilmer County was a good coach that we faced, 2 to 3 times a year. And there was one guy in the state tournament, I can't think of his name, but we faced twice, and I was 500 against him. That was the coach that beat us the first time and sent us home when we was undefeated, and I got him. He's always in the state tournament. I can't think of his name right now, but Gene's been there a lot of time, and but I faced him when he was at Dade County and not at Buford, but had some good kids to work, try to see what his strong points was and his weak points were, and we were able to have more wins than losses against Coach Durden. But I don't know if I can compete with him now. He got some Division I athletes every year.
Yeah. Which was the best team you ever had to coach against?
Team-wise?
Yeah.
Gainesville's.
Really?
The Red Elephants. We would pack the gym home and away because it was 2 exciting teams, and it was fighting it out for the region championships in the early 90s, and then later on, they moved to a different classification, went up, and we stayed in AA. They went to AAA, and then I think we went to AAA. They went to 4A. So, no, they didn't go that because we faced them in 2004 in the state championship, 2003. 2003 in the state championship, and they were still in our region. Right after 2003, 2004, somewhere in there, they went to 4A, and we stayed at AAA.
Yeah. Which did you enjoy more, playing basketball or coaching basketball?
Well, you got some hard questions there. When I was young, I really enjoyed playing it. Didn't know what I was going to do. I went to college on an athletic basketball scholarship. After 2 years, you're supposed to decide what you want to become, and they said I had more credit hours in education, and I'd saw teachers how hard they worked and done and stuff. I said that was the last thing I wanted to do was become a teacher. So while I had that many hours, I didn't want to backtrack into something else. So I became a teacher, and I always loved sports, especially basketball, baseball, and that's what I played in high school. So I had a lot of success, and usually if you have success, you like it. So,
Yeah.
so then I tried to get the opportunity to coach at the high school. I helped Coach Payne my first year back being assistant boys. Then the year after, I took the girls' job over in 81. And after that, it took us about 7 or 8 years to build that program up. We were always competitive. We'd always give Ringo a good job. That was another good team. And they always had good teams. And Coach always asked us, how can you always play us so tough? I said, well, it's not hard to get up a team when you're ranked high in the state, like 1, 2, or 3. I said, I told the girls we're going to have to bring our best game, and we'd compete with them pretty good. It just ended up a little on the short stick.
Yeah.
But I always loved to play tough competition in the summertime to try to get to the level. North Hall always had a good program in the early 80s and stuff, so I wanted to play them. Hayesville had like 6 years in a row state champions. I wanted to play them. And in Gainesville, I mean, you want a few teams that are maybe not so good through the year that you can have. But I mean, if you don't play better competition, I don't think you're going to get any better.
Yeah. You've had a long, successful coaching career. How do you want your players to remember you?
Well, I was always the bad cop in coaching. And Coach Payne was a good cop, or whoever had his assistant. Carla Sisson and then Suzanne Pass helped me out a lot. I always tried to let them be the good cop. And I started out early. I wanted to try to get real close to my kids, but I found out in the clutch they didn't play for me as good. So I kind of stayed back from them, but I still wanted to be part of them. They knew that I would help them out in any situation, and that I just like for them to remember me as a hard-working man that tried to teach them the same principles that would get them through life, that everything's not going to be a cakewalk, and that hard work, determination will get you a lot of places you can't get.
It's a good way to be remembered. What is the best piece of advice you would give to an aspiring basketball player just like me?
I would tell them that it's not easy. You don't get instant gratification. It takes a lot of hard work, dedication. One coach, my college coach, said you got to have the 3 Ds, and that's determination, dedication, and desire to play the game, and it makes a lot of sense. You can be a great athlete and not work at it, you still won't be as good as you could be. And I've seen young kids like you, it's got a lot of potential, but you got to love the game and you got to work at it. You can still be good, but it depends on how far up the ladder you want to go. It's like a lot of people say, it's just as hard as you want to work is determining where you go. And then even maybe if you work all that extra hard, there's no guarantee that you still get there. But it teaches you further on in life how to come and against situations that I've met. I always, through my sports and teaching, I've solved a lot of my problems in life, and I try to go back and remember how things were and try to create and do things that way.
Yeah. Coach Farmer, it's been a great interview, but I have one final question. When you coached my Aunt Leslie, how many times did you make her cry?
I don't know. She's pretty strong-headed now.
Heard you fouled out a lot.
Well, early, and until she learned to use her body to play defense with instead of her hands, she'd stayed in foul trouble quite a bit. but she learned to do that. She became a great player for me inside, a great defensive player too. I know she's coaching the other day when I was reffing, and she's teaching them some of the same things I'd taught her. So the game has changed a lot, but the fundamentals have not changed to me. I mean, they're more three-point oriented, a little more fast-paced, but there's things that if you're a smart player, you can pick up on things quick and learn to. I felt like when I coached, nobody was going to outwork me. They might out-coach me, but they're not going to outwork me. I spent the time, the effort. My girls hated the amount of running that I did for them. I said, we may not be the best team in the region, but we're going to be the best in-shape team in the region. So we strived at it. I mean, the kids were very dedicated when they became and became a Lady Rebel at the high school. And they put forth a lot of hard work and effort. I mean, I had them 6, 7, maybe 8 months out of the year. We practiced in the summer, went to camps off. A lot of them played softball for me in the fall. Basketball started like mid-October, and we didn't finish up till sometimes into March. So it's a pretty good long time. Kids got to get along with each other and respect each other's thoughts and stuff. So it had to be like a small family, and I think we did that at times pretty well.
Yeah. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
I appreciate it.
It's been a great interview.
Well, thank you, and I enjoyed it, bringing back some good old memories.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's fun to hear stories. Well, Rebel Nation, that was Johnny Farmer telling you how it is. See you next time on Small Town Izzy with Big Time Sports. Whew.